Hi and welcome to what must be the 7th part of this quite long running video series on the 16th scale military truck. So far we've changed the radio control over to hobby grade, so we've got proportional steering and better speed control. And in this next part, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at putting a sound unit into this truck. Now the sound unit which I've chosen and that will hopefully fit actually comes out of this little 1/32 scale Orlando Hunter truck. If this works, I'm going to be ordering a new speaker for this truck. It's an incredibly cheap sound unit. It's actually quite effective, and if you look at the other video which I've made on this truck, and I'll put a link into the description below, you'll see how I programmed the transmitter, and I'm moving over to using the DX4S mainly because it allows me better mixing options than the 3 which I originally bound to this truck. So I've redone the binding, and I actually copied this model over to this model so that I didn't have to redo the mixing. I won't repeat all of that here. As I said, you can see it in the link on the description below. So without further ado, let's get going. So if I just take this off, this is the speaker unit and sound control unit in the little truck, and as I said, it's quite small, so what I'm hoping is that it's going to fit underneath this truck here, and what I'm thinking is that I can probably put it in one of the spaces at the side. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to put it in this side here, and I'm going to try and mount it on top of the force fuel tank here, and that way I'll be able to take the truck cab off and not have too many wires to unplug. So I'll just quickly move it from here. I'll be one moment. Right, so the speaker is now out, and if you look at my other video, you'll see how I trimmed these little mounting tabs off here, which I didn't want, and I still don't want in this model, so that's okay. And here we have the little sound module controller. Okay, and you'll see how the connector to the receiver is plugged into the first set of plugs along with the white facing towards the main board, and similarly on the speaker the white faces towards the main board. Okay, now it looks to me as if with the speaker facing upwards to the truck, which is downwards if the truck's upside down, it pretty well fits perfectly on top of that fuel tank there. The fit I would say is a little bit tight, so I'm just going to take this off, and that involves a couple of screws. One, and there's one here at the back here as well. Okay, I'll just get the screw out. There we are. Right, so what I noticed was that it was particularly tight up against this bracket, so I'm just going to trim the bracket ever so slightly. In fact, I won't grab a knife, I'll use these scissors. You've got to be quite careful not to split anything. It doesn't really reduce the strength a great deal, but it ought to give more room. There to go. And let's just check the fit. So putting that like that, we have a much we have a much looser fit, which is what I was hoping for. 1, 2, and let's just have a quick test fit. That's pretty perfect, and the length of tape I'm going to want isn't going to be massive. It's probably going to only be about that. As ever, quick squirt of alcohol. So that we're going to get a nice clean joint. Just check that. Right, so I can actually go with the speaker sideways if I wanted to, or I can go with it upside down. Just thinking. I think the upside down will be fine, because there's actually a little cavity underneath the seat for the speaker to play up into. Let's tape off, slide that there, and that should be a pretty good joint. The wires are nicely out of the way. What I thought was that I would put the control unit, you can see, actually at the end there, because I think that that will give us quite a neat place for it to be. So again, with alcohol on there, residue, and I'm actually going to put a little bit on the back here. The unit. A very small piece of tape this time, so we'll chop it that way, and then chop it that way. Tape's going to go on there. So that's ready to accept the tape. I'm just going to thread the wires a little bit because that's going to make it easier to get it plugged in. Tweezery things. So that's the wire nicely up. Then that's the circuit board stuck down. And then lastly we need to plug it in, so I'll just move my pile of wires across and plug the speaker into channel 3. Yeah, you'll probably notice that I'm avoiding taking the cab top off. Well, I don't think I need to for this, and I'm going to know that everything just fits. A little bit fiddly, getting the plug in, and it will go. It's almost there. That's it. So we're all plugged in and ready to go. We don't have too many messy wires hanging around, so that's okay. Just push the wires out of the way there, and that should pretty well be it. Yep, the wires are all nicely out of the way, nothing's going to foul the drive shaft. All we need to do now is give it a quick test. Let's see if it works properly. Give it a quick test on the floor somewhere.